What does the Mariners 3-6 road trip say to you?
It says that they have the same problems they've had all season long, and that's manufacturing runs. Problem they had last season and the season before. Listen, we're beating a dead horse. The offense is problematic, and the starting rotation or the bullpen can ill afford to have a bad day. They just don't have that luxury when you've got an offense that is amongst the bottom in just about every category, whether you want to look at on base, you want to look at runs scored, you want to look at batting average. This is who they are. We're beyond the halfway point of the season. It is not a good offense for whatever reason. You've got guys that are underperforming. So my takeaway was you lost to one of the worst teams in baseball in the Miami Marlins. And you lost in large part because your offense can't back up your pitchers when they do have a bad day, which every pitcher does. So you got to be able to account for it more often than this offense does.
What's your level of panic with Julio at the plate right now?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's panic as much as just confusion. I don't know I'm not really certain what's going wrong, and clearly they don't know either, or they'd fix it. He leads the team in hits. I mean, he's getting hits. Problem is he's got 13 extra base hits for the entire season. He's got 7 home runs, 6 doubles, no triples. Everything else is a single. So he's coming up with hits. He's had some timely moments when you look at his numbers with, his batting average with runners in scoring position. He's over 300, but I don't know. I don't know what's happened with him, where the power's gone. He seems to hit a lot of balls on the ground, and Scott Service has talked about him trying to get the ball in the air more often. So I don't know if it's just more of a mechanical thing, if it's an approach, a mentality. You need him to be Julio. If this team's going to go anywhere in the postseason, he's got to be something close to what he's been, what you've expected from him. And so far, he hasn't been.
Can you make an argument for more than one Mariners All-Star right now?
No. No. Logan Gilbert is your All-Star. The end. That's it. I mean, there are people you'd like to see. I think had Munoz not suffered the injury and then he just had a rough outing out there, he would have been my next guy that I thought should get consideration. And the fans don't vote on pitchers, so that's out of the fans' hands. But in terms of position players, no. There's not anybody you could legitimately, honestly make a case for and say, this guy, if he's not named an All-Star, it's a travesty. That player's not on the team. Sorry.
Who's the potential trade target you would be happiest to see the Mariners get?
I'd like Paredes from the Tampa Bay Rays. 25 years old, plays great defense. He's actually scuffled during that series with the Mariners, but he's an offensive threat, young guy with control. I don't really want a rental player. If you're gonna give up key pieces of your farm system, I need it to be for somebody that's going to be here beyond a couple of months this year. So if they can get a guy like that, Luis Robert, we've brought his name up a million times. I love his potential. I just don't love his availability, which he hasn't been very available. He's been hurt a lot. So if the price reflects his availability, okay, if you don't have to unload the farm for him, I'd be interested in him. Certainly Alonso, Vlad Guerrero, Luis Rengifo. There's a number of players out there that I think could do a lot to help this lineup. I'm just curious to see what the tolerance of this ownership is in the way of finances and in the way of prospects, because listen, the National League is so bunched up right now that you've got basically everybody in contention, so nobody's selling. You've got the Marlins and the Rockies are probably the only 2 teams that look at it and go, we're out. We got no shot. Everybody else feels like they're within striking distance, so they're hanging on to their players. It's gonna be closer to the deadline, which makes the price go up and makes obviously the pool of talent much more shallow at this point.
Last one, 9-game homestand starts Friday. Who's your pick to click?
Boy, I'd love to say Julio. I would love Julio to be the guy to click. Maybe it's him. Maybe I need to speak it into existence. So you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to say Julio is my pick to click. He's going to have a tremendous homestand. He's going to look more like Julio. There's going to be a couple of bombs in there. He's going to hit the ball hard. So Yeah, I'm hoping, and I'm going to speak that into existence. Julio Rodriguez for the homestand.